Okay, everyone, we are ready to start talking about loops or the iteration structure. And I am looking at our fortune cookie program, but this is the new and improved version of the program. So here's my cookie, press enter to crack, and then the fortune. Okay, have another cookie, yes or no? This wasn't in the last version of this program. Okay, so there's my second cookie, my fortune. Okay, have another cookie, yes or no? At this point, I'm done, and goodbye. So this is what your book calls condition-controlled repetition or condition-controlled loop, and it is. I personally would call this user-controlled repetition, this particular program, and a lot of games are like this. Do you want to play again, yes or no? Do you want to play again, yes or no? It's like the control is in the user's hands. It's like subject to the user's whims. So, and what, we'll look at lots of different types of loops, but this is obviously one type of loop. So, looking at this, it's really the same program that we saw in the last unit with the emojis and the cookies, the various fortunes, I guess. But we've got a couple of new lines of code here. So up here at the top where I'm creating the variables, I have this new variable, which I've called another. Okay, you could call it another, go again, something along those lines. And I initialized it to the affirmative. Okay, yes, Y for yes. And then that's it. I mean, we just loop the full program. So this is what we looked at last week. This part, okay, this chunk here. That was the program from last week before we were doing the looping. So all you have to do is add a loop header here. Okay, remember in Python, indentation is a thing. So I indented that whole piece of code there. I don't know if I said this in a previous video, but you can highlight a block of code and hit tab to indent or shift tab to go back, so you can do that fairly easily. So anyway, also don't forget your syntax here. We have a colon after the loop header. So we're saying while another, and I'm using the lower method just in case the caps lock key is on or something. So while another dot lower is equal to little y, look at that double equal sign for equality. Don't forget about that. Okay, so while they keep saying yes, I'm going to keep cracking cookies, basically, and keep generating fortunes. So that's really all there is to it. And then we have, you have to ask them. You have to give the user a way out. Do you want another cookie? Yes or no? Okay, and so notice that their response will go into that another variable. Finally, if they enter no, then the loop will end, and they've broken out of the loop. They've broken out of the game in this case. Now, I'm getting a little fancy here for our first video, but I actually nested a loop in here. I was thinking, what if the user enters some crazy value like X or Z or something? I want to hold the user's feet to the fire and make sure they enter a Y or an N. So, so I'll just throw in a nested loop here. So while what they entered is not equal to Y, or and it's not equal to N, those are the two choices, Y for yes, N for no. I won't accept anything else. We're telling them to try again, okay? And I'm giving them a message to enter another cookie or enter another option. And then again, that input goes into that another variable. So this is a nested loop, right? Because it's part of the bigger loop, okay, in the program. But it's very common to use a nested loop or a loop in general for error handling, because you just keep asking the user. That's repetitive, right? You just keep coming back at them while they keep getting it wrong, and just being relentlessly coming after them with the loop to make sure they enter the correct thing and not some crazy values. So yeah, that's it. I think in the next video, I'll take one of our games from before and I'll loop it like in real time so you can see me adding the techniques just for reinforcement.